A woman will never complete your life, bro. Sorry to tell you. So just stop trying to find one that can, alright? It's not gonna happen. Let me tell you my story, alright? So, back in 2022, it's spring break. I'd come home from college. And I'm on Instagram one day. And I see this girl who I'd previously dated back in, like, sophomore year of high school. Now, when we had previously dated, I used to, like, simp for this girl, be down bad for her. And then eventually we, like, stopped talking. And then we were, like, kind of toxic, like, a year later. And eventually she told me that, like, she was down for me to take her virginity, right? When we first dated, she was a virgin and she wasn't, like, down for anything. But eventually, like, junior year rolled around and she wanted to, you know, like, lose her virginity, like, she was open to having sex, right? And she said she would, like, let me take it. I was like, oh, shit, say less. So, you know, fast forward to spring break, right? We're now 19. And she's already lost her virginity by this point, but I'm on Instagram and she posted on her close friends, I'm trying to have a drunken nasty night. And I'm like, shit, I got some Henny, come pull up to the crib. You know what I mean? And so she's like, shit, I'm going to this party, I'm gonna come after. I'm like, say less. And so it's like 2 a.m. She pulls up. I had some wine and some Henny. So I think she just had like one shot of the Henny and then she had like a cup of wine. I'd killed the rest of the Henny and then I'd have some wine. I mean, so we was getting turned. We was hitting the pen a little bit. We was getting turned, right? And so I get on the bed. I start kissing her, start kissing on her neck, put her hand on my cock so she started rubbing it. I mean, start getting into it. Eventually I tell her, like, turn around, I take her clothes off, I pull her pants off, and I start hitting that shit from the back, bro. Bro, I kid you not, I'm like 2 minutes in, and I fucking came, bro. I had to, like, pull out, bro, because I started coming. At this point, I didn't had sex in, like, 4 or 5 months at this point. I'd basically just been, like, super down bad and depressed because in January, the girl who I'd been, like, previously dating and that I wanted to be with, like, I wanted her to be my girlfriend, she told me that, she didn't want to be my man. I mean, she told me that she didn't want to be my girl, that she wasn't ready for a relationship. She told me this back in November, right? And so it's January, and she's like, yeah, Jaden, I got a boyfriend. It's a wrap for us. I'm like, oh, so it was me. I bet. So, you know, that sent me down a pit of hell because I was like, oh, well, I'm just a piece of shit. I suck. I'm trash. Cool, no problem. Right? So I hadn't had sex since her, right? Because I was just like, I couldn't even think about talking to women. I hated myself. And so I was, right, I'm, you know, with this girl right now in my bed, right? I pulled out. I came in like 2 minutes, bro. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? But it was only like a little bit, right? So I finished that up. I cleaned it up. And then I went back in that hoe. You know what I mean? Part 2 that bitch. So I'm clapping that shit. I'm going that shit. You know what I mean? Now we're in this shit. It's probably for like, solid like 20 minutes we're going, right? Boom. After that, I pull out. Came on her butt, right? On her back, whatever. And then I went to the bathroom, right? Always gotta pee after you come, guys. Always, always, always. Right? And so, after that, I went back into the room. We were chilling a little bit. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo, I could go for part 3 right now. So, we went for part 3, right? Hitting that shit, boom, 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 cool. Yo, I'm getting that shit from the back. And this shit is fat, boy. Like, that shit is... You know what I mean? I'm clapping that shit, bro. And I'm telling her, I'm like, oh, I'm about to come. She's like, she points back. And she, like, taps it, like, on her ass. She's like, oh, I have the patch. You can come in me. I'm like, oh, shit, word. And it was kind of funny. Because I'm like, wait, hold up. I've spent the last, like, half an hour clapping this girl's cheeks, hitting this shit from the back. And I didn't see this fat-ass patch. Now, granted, she did still have, like, her shirt on. So... I think like the top, like the bottom of her shirt was kind of covering it up a little bit. But even still, you know what I mean? I was like, wait, I didn't see this like fat ass patch on this girl's fat ass booty. What's going on? Anyways, so she tells me, I'm like, oh, say less, right? So, came at her, right? She was magical, I'm not gonna lie. And And after that, she wanted to like just dip off. I wanted her to leave too, not gonna lie. Although I liked this girl, I thought she was cool and she was funny, I didn't actually like care about her, you know what I mean? And so she dipped after like 10-15 minutes. Cool. Next day I wake up and I just feel this emptiness. And I'm like, ah, fuck. And that was when I realized that you can get the girl and you can still be dissatisfied. And I learned this lesson not just from casual sex that didn't really mean anything, right? I got married. And I had to learn this lesson again. See, last year, I was doing a 101-day streak of daily uploads from May 15th to August 24th. Now, about halfway through that, this woman had found me on YouTube. She'd followed me, found me on Instagram, we chopped it up a little bit, she joined my coaching program. Eventually, we became business partners. Eventually, we got together, and we got married. And then we split up. We went from that, from her finding me on YouTube to us splitting up 12 weeks. This was like mid-June to the end of October. We basically went through, I like to say we went through a 12-year relationship in 12 weeks. At this point in my life, right, in that time, in July and August, I was in like premium attraction mode. Like, I attracted like 700 subscribers. I went from like 300 to 1K subs in like July to August. I'd made my first like $1,300 through coaching programs, July and August. I literally got married, July, August, right? So many things in like the world, in the external reality, the money, the subscribers, the girl. I got those things. And then I fell into the hole of hell. I kid you not, the week after my ex-wife and I got married, I fell into a rut. And I was in that rut for 10 weeks, so basically our entire relationship. And it was only until the day after we broke up where I instantly felt like I was back on the rise. See, the thing is, when I married my ex-wife last year, although a part of it was definitely coming from this place of, oh, I love this woman, I want to spend my life with her, I want her to be the mother of my children. I felt all of those things, and I thought those were all true, and that I wanted that to be. But eventually I realized that this pattern, this old pattern of mine, of having a woman come into my life, and then kind of like grasping onto her, holding onto her, and kind of like needing to keep her around, it was playing out again. I dealt with this pattern previously. I like to say that I dated the same woman for 5 years, but it was 15 different girls, right? That was from 15 through 19 when I first started dating, or 14 through 19 when I first started dating. Where I was just a fucking simp. And my emotional well-being was tied to whether this girl texted me or not. I mean, texted me back fast enough or not. I was purposeless. I was a fucking pleasure goblin who only cared about if mommy liked me or not. Because I was already incomplete, when I looked for relationships with women, it only amplified that incompleteness. It amplified that sense of lack. It amplified that sense of unworthiness in me. It was only until after my ex-wife and I broke up, and I realized that I still had this pattern that I had to finally shed. Where I was like, you know what? I refuse to get into a relationship with a woman because I feel like there's something missing in my life she's going to give me. And once I made that decision, things changed. A lot of people think that a romantic partner is going to complete their life. That is wrong. I'm sorry to tell you, bro. Not really, though, because when you stop believing that, life gets better. So I'm actually not sorry to tell you that. I'm actually very excited to tell you that. Because a person is of the external reality, right? Thinking that a person and the finite things that a person can give you, like their time, or their attention, or their intimacy, or their sex, thinking that that can complete something internally inside of you, like, you have reality incorrect. Externals, things of this physical world, like this coffee, like this camera, like this phone, like that girl, they cannot, let me repeat that, cannot, impossibility, they cannot complete anything of the internal reality. The internal reality is affected by only the internal reality. That's it. Now, you may see things in the external that trigger things inside of your internal world that then go and change things in your internal world, but it's ultimately your internal world being triggered by the external. You see what I'm saying? You're only going to be able to come to this place of having healthy relationships with women if you stop looking for women to complete your life, to fill in some hole. You gotta let that go. You have to stop operating from that paradigm, and you have to start adopting the mindset that women are supposed to add more into my life, not fill up something that's scarce or something that's lacking. Let me ask you a question, bro. Why do you even want a woman in your life? Like, why? So you can spend time with her? Okay, cool. So you can touch on her, kiss her, have sex with her? Oh yeah, awesome. I want to do those things as well. That's great. What else? So that you can have someone who listens? Fair enough. So you can have someone whose touch drives you crazy? Alright, respectfully. Like, start naming the reasons why you want women in your life. And I think you're going to find that if you get really, really honest with yourself, a lot of those things have nothing to do with women. And have everything to do with you wanting to have a sense of completeness in your life. But the problem is, if a person is your sole source of completeness, what happens when that person's gone? You're incomplete. Is that what you want? Do you want to be incomplete if she can't complete you today? What if she's not feeling it today? You're just fucked? I don't know, man. That's no way to live. In my opinion, living your life by the whimsical nature of a woman's emotions and how she's feeling on the day, that is no way to live as a man. I came to this epiphany the other day. I was like, yo, most guys' problems is that they're expecting a consistent emotional experience from a feminine woman. That's crazy. That's like expecting a consistent level of like ocean tide, or a consistent level of like wave tide from the ocean. The ocean isn't going to give you the same experience. Sometimes the ocean's chill. Sometimes the ocean's going crazy. Sometimes it's somewhere in between. The ocean is constantly shifting, constantly changing. It's never a consistent experience. Your girl is like that. And so thinking that you're going to get some consistent experience with a woman, oh, I'm only going to feel good with her. Oh, I'm only going to feel amazing with her. Oh, it's only going to be like, that's crazy, bro. I'm going to be honest, bro. Like, having that expectation is causing so much suffering. The chaos of the feminine is a part of her beauty, alright? You can't separate them. If you are enamored by the beauty of the feminine, which I understand, she's pretty amazing. it's gonna come with her chaos as well. You got to be willing to take that, all right? And so it's like, if you're a guy who has this incompleteness, but you're looking for a woman to give you that, you're misinterpreting reality. A woman can't give you a consistent emotional experience. That's not how the feminine nature works. And so you need something masculine in your life to give you that consistent emotional experience. What is that going to be? Your purpose, your mission, your goals, your self-mastery. It's the things you make progress on every day. I get my consistent emotional experience from meditation, from being present, from my art, from my philosophy, from teaching others. I get it from walking. You see what I'm saying? I mean, shit, even from fucking smoking. Now, is that good? No. But, hey man, say man, we all got our vices, right? I'll be the first one to admit it. At the end of the day, we only get consistent emotional experiences from things that are internal, right? Right, like I don't actually get a consistent emotional experience like from smoking weed. Although I'd like to. But when I meditate, I do get that consistent emotional experience. I feel calm and peaceful and present. I feel that bliss, that just sense of chill. When I'm meditating, when I'm present, when I'm making art, when I'm making philosophy, when I'm creating, when I'm giving my gift, I feel that aliveness, I feel that flow state, I feel that fulfillment. I feel that joy, that love of being an artist, of sharing, of helping people, of guiding others. Awesome. I consistently have those things in my life, right? I want to start getting back into training consistently. I've been banned from the gym, from my local Planet Fitness for the last 6 months. I used to work there, but then I got fired, and so I've been banned. I tried to go there the other day, and I got away with it for the first day. I didn't get away with it for the second day. But exercise, that's a great way to have that consistent emotional experience. As a man, God, your purpose, and your self-mastery need to be your sources of consistent emotional experiences. Even your friends are also great. But expecting women to be a consistent emotional experience is a fallacy. And so you shouldn't even have that expectation. So number one, don't have the expectation that women can give you some consistent emotional experience. Okay, cool. But number two, don't believe that a woman can give you something that you don't already have yourself. Now, of course, if we're talking about like a woman's sex or a woman's like kisses, right? Or her physicality, right? Obviously, you can't give yourself those things. A woman's feminine radiance and her energy, you can't give yourself those things, right? Of course, you have your own femininity. Of course, you can tap into the feminine radiance of the world around you, of course. But of course, a woman will be able to give you that you can't give yourself. I mean, that's fair. But that is adding more into your life rather than giving you something that you are incomplete without. If you're incomplete without a woman's inspiration, like, what are we talking about? If you're incomplete without a woman's love or her sex, what are we talking about? You're not a fucking man. You need God. You need your purpose, your mission. Those are the things that are going to fulfill you every day. Those are the things that's going to fill your cup every day. Those are the things that's going to have you overflowing so that you are the source. Here's the thing. I've been talking about how, like, a woman shouldn't be, like, a man's source or, like, a consistent emotional experience because she can't. That's not the feminine nature. But a man can actually be that for a woman. Yes, it's a double standard. So what? This is how life works. The masculine and the feminine have different roles. We operate differently. We function differently. That's awesome. That's how God designed it to be. And so it's like, as a representation, as an embodiment of the masculine principle, if you as a man have stillness, if you're indifferent, if you can be unchanging, if you can have your own internal like emotional mastery, you can be that consistent emotional experience for a woman. Every time she sees you, she has like so much fun with you. You're always so present with her. you always like pull her in by the waist and fucking make her melt into you, right? You can be that for her. But you can only be that for her if you are actually still, if you're full. And that can only happen if you have those things for yourself. If you have God, if you have your mission, if you have your self-mastery, that's filling your cup every single day. And so guys, I need you to have this mindset. Like, a woman isn't going to complete my life. She's not. If she can't, I'm going to stop trying to look for one that can. Now, you can look for a woman that's going to add more to your life. That's fucking awesome, bro. Women are amazing. But women should be the cherry on top of the sundae, not the sundae itself. The ice cream, that's God. The bananas, that's your self-mastery. The chocolate the chocolate syrup, that's your purpose. The woman is the cherry. Yes, she makes the sundae 100 times better. Yes, she does. But without her, the sundae's still pretty fucking good. Alright? If you don't know anything about me, my name is Jaden. I'm a mystic, I'm a philosopher, I'm a polymath, I'm a healer. It's my mission to help as many artists as possible live their most free and authentic lives by helping them understand who they truly are and helping them express who they truly are. That's why I'm so passionate about bridging the worlds of art, philosophy, and mysticism over on my main channel, The Mystical Polymath, and why I love talking about love and relationships here on Conscious Lovers. So if my mission resonates with you, I'd appreciate if you drop a sub to this channel, to my other channel. When you're ready to take your journey to the next level, improving your mental health, doing the inner work so you can improve your relationship life, I want to invite you to join our program, Masters of Alchemy. When you join there, you'll get access to our guides, our courses. I'm also making a new guide called Decoding the Feminine Mystery. So you get access to all of that, as well as our community. And if you'd like my personal help with helping you understand your current limited beliefs, helping you understand the limitations in your inner world, helping you release traumas, helping you heal the things inside of you so that you can have a better relationship with yourself, and from there, create better relationships with others, I'd love to help you do that. Come DM me on Instagram, the word guide, and we can start talking about how I can help you with your journey, alright? Do it today. Be better for it tomorrow. Stay devoted. Stay inspired, baby.